I just want to do a little piece about the Weeny Dynasty, which is the new car from San Andreas Autos, available this week. 450,000 is not a terribly expensive car. Obviously, it's not going to be um, pretty much good for anything. It's just one to add to your collection. But there are not many cars that come out in Grand Theft Auto 5 that have that classic 1940s or 1950s look. Um, so I wanted to get this one to add to my collection. This is my version of it. I haven't done a huge amount to it. I've added, I think they're called T-bar bumpers on the front and back. I've changed the wheels to as close as I can get to what I'm looking for online, which is the kind of white with the central boss. And I couldn't change the grille to what I wanted. I was able to change the mirrors, and as you can see, these mirrors are on the front wings rather than by the windows. They soon realized that having the mirrors by the windows are much more useful because it actually gives you, first off, a better field of view, and secondly, it's much easier to adjust them because when you've got the mirrors out there by the front, if you want to adjust your mirror, you have to get out your car, adjust the mirror, get back in the car, is it in the right location, get out the car, adjust it again, and so forth. Oh my God, was it a pain? Now, I particularly like this car because I have driven something very similar. Uh, when I was just learning to drive, my grandmother was still around and she had a car that was a Wolseley 1500. You can look it up online. Wolseley, Wolseley, Wolseley 1500. And this car is as close as anything that's come out in Grand Theft Auto to that Wolseley 1500, and that's the look I've tried to go for. Her car was this kind of blue color. By the time I drove it, the paint had somewhat faded, but I think this was more the original blue color that she had. The grille on the front is not quite right. It should be a much taller central and then two lower side panels. Um, and they always had a little badge in the middle, which lit up when you put on the headlights, and there's no option for that here. But I'm very pleased that this car has finally come out. I've been waiting for it for quite a while. Basically, I knew it was coming from the casino, but it's finally arrived. And this is my version of the Wolseley 1500. I'm going to be driving this one around for the next week or so, hopefully, when I have the opportunity, because it's just a fun old vehicle that reminds me of my grandmother. Uh, Not a hugely expensive car. I don't think you're going to win any races in this car, unless everyone else is driving the same car, of course. But a fun vehicle. They originally came out, I think, in 1957. This one's left-hand drive. I was driving in England, so it was a right-hand drive car. Um, and I remember it particularly because it was leather upholstery inside. Most of my cars that I've driven, not leather inside at all, but it was leather with walnut trim. It was really luxurious feeling. But of course, it was a 1950s car with all the bumps and squeaks and rattles and problems that go along with that. And I think we finally gave up when the gearbox gave out, and we did not want to spend the money to upgrade it. By that point, it was pretty much a veteran vehicle anyway, and we sold it to a collector, and hopefully it's still doing well in someone's private collection. But I love the shape of these cars. I love these beautiful, curvaceous cars. I guess at the time they all looked the same, but now they're rarities and they really stand out in a crowd.